Hi creatives, Chidi here and greetings from my end. You can see the beautiful top that I have on the screen, the Princess Bustier with a cap sleeve. It's a peplum top. I explained in detail in this tutorial how I made this lovely top. So come with me as I show you how I made this lovely top. Don't cut any part so that you don't miss any detail. Now let's delve into it. Here I have my fabric, the scissors, the pattern master, and of course my tape and pattern paper are all here. So now I'll be sharing with you how I made this beautiful pattern and top in detail. Okay, I'm starting from scratch. Here I have my pattern paper and I'm starting with the front pattern. I'm measuring my shoulder, that is basically your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Okay, that is what I took there, that is 8 inches. 16 is the shoulder measurement, divided by 2 is 8. Here I'm measuring my neckline, the basic neckline, and I'm marking. You can use 3.5 or 3 depending on how big or slim your client is. I'm going in with my pattern master. You can use your armhole curve to do the same thing I did now. Now I'm measuring my bust, that is your bust circumference divided by 4. Anything you get, you mark it. If it's 40, what you'll be measuring now is 10. Okay, that is 40 divided by 4. Now that I've marked this, I will go ahead and take my front length. That is what I'm taking now, 17.5 from the tip of that paper, from the beginning of the paper rather. Now I have ruled it across. Watch closely and you will understand every bit of what I'm doing. I'm going ahead to take my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. From that's my shoulder marking, and I'm taking it to the neck line. Now I'm coming down by 5. That is to take my across chest, and I came in by 3/4 inch. Okay, I'm going ahead to measure my armhole. Okay, and I am marking it. That is your armhole measurement. If it's like 18, you will be taking 9 here. That is armhole divided by 2. Okay, then I'm going ahead to rule this. I'll be showing you how you can maybe achieve this when you are taking a measurement. Okay, it's very good to watch. It will be very nice to watch my Torso Foundation or Basic Bodice Foundation video, but here I'm trying to show you how you can measure your armhole. Watch closely to see. That is where the arm is. Okay, this is how the arm is attached. Watch closely. It's very easy and you will understand. So if you're measuring your clients, this is what you'll be doing to measure your armhole, so that you don't get confused whenever I do this. Okay, any measurement you get round like this is what you'll be dividing into 2 to take your armhole measurement. It's as simple as that. Okay, I hope you understand. So that is what I use to take my armhole measurements. That is my across chest, and I took that line from the shoulder tip to the across chest and then to where this measurement touches my bust measurement by the side. Now I'm taking my bust level and I am marking it. Okay, now I took 1 inch below that bust level. Watch closely and you will understand. Here I am taking where my dart will be, and I am taking 1/2 inch on both sides of this. Please, I used bust to bust measurement from that fold to come in. Now I've drawn my darts. You can see that my dart is 1 inch below the bust point. Now I'm measuring my under bust, which is 3 inches or 3.5 inches from the bust point. I'm taking 3/4 inch this way and 1/4 inch that way. Okay, and I am ruling this straight to the waistline. Watch closely. One of the lines touched that leg and the other one did not touch it. Now I'm connecting this to the bust point, just as you can see me do. You can also use your armhole curve to do this. Now this is that. That is just as simple as that. Okay, watch closely what I'm doing. I'm about to mark my dart, and that is my bust level that I took, and I'll be taking it straight to my bust point. Watch closely. And I'm taking my side bust dart, which is the difference between the front half length and the back half length. Note this, okay? And that is how to draw your side bust dart. Okay, now I'm going into my, watch closely to see, that is my armhole measurement here, which is about 9.5. The half of it is what I am trying to locate. Beautiful. I'll be connecting this to my bust point using my armhole curve. Watch how I am using that curve. Nice. So I'll be dropping by 1 inch, just as you can see me do, and I'll be extending by 1 inch also. Just watch closely, you will understand. Apart from what I'm saying, watch closely and you'll understand what I am doing. So I extended that line by 1 inch, and from there I'll be curving. You see my extension? See how I connected it to the bust point. Now I will be smoothing this part to the, see how I smoothened it. Beautiful. Just do yours like this and you will get it perfectly. Now I'll go ahead and take my neckline drop. Okay, just feel free to take the measurement that you want, what you're comfortable with. I think I took 6 there, and I took 1.5 by the side neck, or 1/4. Okay, now I'm using my hand to just take my curve because I'm more comfortable with it because of the way the neckline is. Now I'm going in with my pattern master to make my line clearer. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's just as simple as that. I used my hand to draw the neckline the way I want it, to get exactly the neckline I want. So that is just that. Beautiful. That is 17.5 on the bust. You can see what measurements I took. Now I'll go ahead and do my back pattern. My back pattern, the length of the back is that is 15.5. That is what I just ruled there. I'll now come in to take my armhole measurements, which is 8, and I'll rule it down. Watch closely to understand. It's very easy. I'm now going with my neckline, which the basic I took 3.5 by, I think 1.5. Okay, 3.5 by 1, yes, for the basic neck. And I'm going ahead to draw that. I'll still go in, just watch closely. I'm taking it a step at a time. This is my shoulder drop. These are just what I did for the front pattern, and I've connected to the neck. Here I'm going ahead to take my bust measurement. Bust circumference divided by 4. Whatever you get, you mark it here. And that is that. I'll be ruling it just the way. Do your own like this. The same thing I did in front. And this is my waist measurement. That is my waist. Okay. I will consider the back tightening. That is just it. I'm tightening my back by 1/2 inch, okay? I added this to the sideways, beautiful, to make up what I took for my tightening at the mid-back. I hope you understand. Now connect this to the line already drawn for the bust by the side, okay? Now I've measured across chest and I came in by 1/2 inch. You know, in front I came in by 3/4 inch. Here I came in by 1/2 inch. So back is 1/2 inch at across chest and front is 3/4. I went ahead to draw my armhole curve. By now you are familiar with this armhole curve, I know. But if you still have questions about this, you can go ahead and watch my basic torso foundation or bodice block drafting. Now I've drawn my side, okay, This is where my dart will be, okay? But before then, let me draw my back tightening. You can see the back tightening. I'm not going to draw my dart. I'll be doing that when I cut on fabric. Now I have dropped this neck the way I want it. You can leave your own the way it is right now, but then I have to go in by 1/4 because the front has also gone in by 1/4 by that side neck, okay? And I also dropped the center back further because I want the back to be a bit revealing. Okay, just the mid. Locate the mid. That is where the dart will be, okay? I'm trying to draw my dart here. That's fine. Just locate the midpoint. That is where your dart will be. And ensure it doesn't get to the armhole. It's about 1 inch lower than where the armhole ended. I hope you understand. Beautiful. Now see my dart and see where it ended. Beautiful. So this is all for the back. I'm coming back to the front to take my waist measurement, which I didn't conclude then. Sorry about that. So just take your waist divided by 4, your waist circumference divided by 4, then you will consider the excess on the dart. You see the extra, you measure what you took in for the dart and just add it up. That is just it, okay? Your waist measurement divided by 4 plus all the dart intake, including the excess that came from drawing the underbust. Some people will add excess by this side to make up for that side bust. If you're okay with that, you can go ahead and do that. If it's still confusing you, you can just close up your dart and amend it while cutting on fabric. It's just the same. Now my front and back basic pattern is complete. I'll go ahead and cut it out and then show you every bit of the process to, complete the final pattern. Now I've cut it out. As you can see, do yours the same way. And then I've labeled it on the bust point and the rest. Ensure you do this for your own too, so that you don't get confused. It may get confusing when you want to cut on fabric, especially the center front pattern. Especially the center front, you may be confused where the bust point is at this point. Please ensure you label your patterns. Now see how I'm closing the side bust dart. This will equalize the side to the back pattern, okay? This is how it is done. And then I'm cutting out my back pattern also, as you can see me do. So this is the back pattern. I'm trimming the back tightening. I actually did here the 50% tightening. I just removed 1/2 inch from the center back. Now here, this is the complete pattern set for the front and back. We'll be going into the sleeve pattern after cutting this on fabric. You can see how I cut it on fabric. I excluded the point of cutting it out for time's sake, for proper time management, so that this video will not be too long. Now this is the complete pattern as we go into the sleeve pattern making. Here I have my basic sleeve. As you can see, I made it to around the elbow length. No, it's not really up to the elbow length. I think the sleeve is about 10 inches in length. You can see the front and the back pattern well labeled. You can see the difference between the front and back pattern that I marked with marker there. Watch and you will see every bit of what I'm doing. So here I will be manipulating the pattern with this other plain paper. but that is after my alterations. Watch closely to see what I did. Here I came down from the cap by 3.5 inches, and I'll be ruling a line across. Please watch closely, be very attentive to understand what I did to get this cap sleeve. Here I am dropping it by 1 inch, and I'll be connecting. Beautiful. So this is how I connected it to the first line that I drew, and I'll be cutting this out. Beautiful. Now this is what I'll be making use of. The other part is no more important to me, except when you want to measure to get where you'll be fixing this sleeve from, but there are other ways to do this. Now I'm trimming off the difference between the front and the back sleeve pattern. I've trimmed it out, and I'll go ahead to draw my slash lines. These slash lines will help me to do my alteration, to add fullness and all. I'm just using my marker to, draw these lines clearer so that you will see it better when I place it on the next white paper. I'm numbering for more clarity. That's just it. Please note that as you spread, you can use your pins to hold your patterns in place, or your masking tape or scotch tape. Anyone you are okay with, you can hold your patterns with it. See how I spaced my pattern, 1/2 inch on the cap and 1/8 at the hem. That is what I did. On the cap there is 1/2. At the hem is 1/8. Here is 1/8. Okay, at the cap is 1/2. So that is just what I did here. You can use your pin and hold them in place, or your tape, the transparent tape, or even the masking tape. Watch closely what I'm doing. I'm adding 1/2 inch to that cap, and see how I am blending it. That is how to get the exact cap sleeve that we are doing on this tutorial. If you want it to be more, raised at the cap, you can go up by 1.5 inches or even 2. But mine, 1 inch is fine. It will give us just the cap sleeve we have on the screen. And I've moved this apart. I've gone ahead to write my front and back as well, and I will be cutting this out. At this point, after the added fullness is looking almost the same, but then just follow your front and back side to get the best out of this. I'm just going ahead to measure what we have finally after the spread, because I also measured the initial sleeve before manipulation. But yeah, this is what we have after the spread, and we'll be taking out what we added. We added about 3 inches, so we'll be reducing. When I form the gather, I've cut this out on fabric. After forming my gather, I will ensure that the measurement I just got now is reduced by 3 inches. Is reduced by 3 inches, because that is what I added. See here, I've added my hairstay to both my fabric and my lining pieces. I'm going ahead to write the front and the back. I'm going ahead to write it so that I won't be confused. It's still showing through the hairstay that I applied. So right now I am going ahead to stitch the hem. Here I have stitched the hem. I'll be notching it. Watch closely. After notching the hem, I will top stitch. Okay, I will top stitch. After top stitching, I will then be running my gather stitch. I'll close up that side, and then I'll be able to run my gather stitch. I've done all that, and I've ironed the next thing to do is to form our gather stitch. This gather will take out 3 inches from the initial measurement of this sleeve cap. I hope you understand. That is what I was trying to explain. 3 inches from that measurement will be out, because that is what I added through the slash and spread method of adding fullness. Here I am notching where I want the gather stitch to run. Okay, that is where I want the gather stitch. Once you run it, so watch closely to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll be gathering there. So this is my needle and thread. I'm forming a gather stitch. You can as well use your machine to form this gather stitch. Run the gather stitch and drag it. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging it to get it to the measurement I want. I'll do the same for the second sleeve. Measure where I want the gather to be, put my notch, and then I'll go ahead and run my gather stitch. I'm measuring it again where I want the gather to be, so that I'll reduce this measurement by 3 inches. I hope you understand. Please feel free to use your machine gather stitch. This is for beginners also. If you prefer this, you can use this method. It's all the same, or you use your machine and drag it. Okay, so here I'm measuring to ensure that it has reduced by 3 inches. I hope you understand. If your initial measurement there is, let's say, 6, you will make sure that the final measurement will be 3 inches. You have to remove what you added through the slash and spread method. Now I've gotten what I want. I am knotting there so that my gather stitch won't move further. At this point, you can push the gather to the middle as you want. Okay, or spread it. Just do the way you want. See, the sleeve is already looking like the cap sleeve. Now here I am back to the body of the dress. You remember our princess cut and the back pattern that we cut earlier. I've gone ahead to stitch my darts and also stitched the neck and top stitched. Watch closely how I stabilized it. I used paper gum or gum stay on the neck of that lining and hair stay on the body of the fabric. This is my front side, and I applied hair stay and wadding as the bust padding. You can see how I cut it, and I've gone ahead to stitch. I stitched from the waistline through the cup across to the princess cut. I hope you understand. I've also gone ahead to stitch the lining. You can see what I did there. So that is exactly what to do. I'll go ahead and stitch my neckline now. I hope it's clear. Here I've stitched my neckline. I'll go ahead and notch it. Please, notching is very important for your neck to relax, your neckline to relax perfectly. I'll notch it, and I will also top stitch after notching. I'll go ahead and top stitch it and then iron in place. I've gone ahead to do that, and this is what I have. Now the next thing, see how beautiful the neck is already lying. Very beautiful. Trim off any excess at this point, and then go ahead to stitch the remaining parts. Here the next thing I'm going to do is to stitch the shoulder. Watch closely how I am going to, join the front to the back. Watch closely. Watch closely how I am bringing the shoulder together. See, the front shoulder is in between the back lining and the front fabric piece. You understand? I put the front shoulder between the lining of the back and the fabric of the back pattern. Okay, I hope you understand. I'll go ahead and stitch it, and I will show you what I have. Now I have stitched this. I've also gone ahead to stitch the sides. The sides I stitched lining to lining and fabric to fabric. See how I angled that point so that it will lie flat. You see the angle there? So that it will lie flat after I have joined my flea. So this is how the inside is looking, and I'll go ahead and close it up. If you want your zip to be between the fabric and the lining, I'll go ahead and stitch this close. But if you want your zip to be there, you will also have to do lining to lining and fabric to fabric for the flea before fixing your sleeve. I treated this in one of my tutorials. Maybe I will go ahead and put the link on the description so that you can watch how you can put your zipper inside between the lining and the fabric. Now this is my flea. I've already cut it. It's unequal flea. If you are interested in it, let me know in the comment section. I will teach you, or I will share with you how it is done. Now this is the next I will do. I'll be joining my flea to the upper part of this dress. Here I have joined it, and the only thing remaining here is the zipper and the cap sleeve. The zipper and the cap sleeve, and I will go ahead and add my zipper and the already prepared cap sleeve. This is looking very lovely. This is the zipper space. I'll go ahead and add it and also add my cap sleeve. This is beautiful. Beautiful. So here is my cap sleeve and I'll be adding it. I've already added my zipper. Guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, at this point I have to remind you to subscribe so that you don't forget before leaving the video. Subscribe and you will not regret it, guys. See what we have here. So beautiful, so lovely. You can see how the cap sleeve is looking. I pushed the gather to the very cap of this sleeve and it's just looking all lovely. I'll be putting this on the mannequin also so that you see the final result on the mannequin. Do well to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know each time I upload my beautiful tutorials. Join the family and you will not regret it, guys. Do well to comment, like and share. I really appreciate you all, my old and new subscribers. And I love you all and I appreciate you stopping by always to view my lovely videos. Thanks for always watching, guys, and see you in my next one. Love you and bye.